Hi guys, I am going to show you the overhauling of TVS Apache RTR carburetor. This video contains removing carburetor from motorcycle, dismantling carburetor, cleaning and assembling carburetor, and fitting back the carburetor into the motorcycle. First of all, take out the side cover by loosening this screw. Secondly, isolate the fuel to the carburetor by closing the fuel cock and removing this fuel tube. Drain the carburetor by loosening this screw. Once draining is completed, we have to open two clamps which holds the carburetor in place. First, open the clamp near the engine side and then open the other clamp which is near the air filter side. Just loosen the screws and take it out. Twist the carburetor and pull out. The carburetor has come out, but it is hanging with throttle cable and choke cable. Disconnect the throttle cable like as follows. Just lift the flap and then take it out. Loosen this nut using number 12 size spanner. Remove the nut and take out the choke cable. We are going to dismantle this carburetor. Keep down the top of the carburetor and remove the two screws which secures the carburetor sump. Remove the two screws. And take out the carburetor sump. Loosen the screw which holds the float. Loosen this screw. Take out the float along with the inlet valve. This inlet valve controls the amount of fuel in the carburetor sump. This inlet valve is actuated by the float movement. Turn down the carburetor and remove these two screws to take out the diaphragm cover. Just hold the diaphragm because it is under spring pressure. Diaphragm and the spring has been taken out. This is the diaphragm piston along with the needle valve. Unscrew the main jet nozzle using the screwdriver and also the pilot jet nozzle. Take out the needle valve using the screwdriver. There are two screws which holds the needle valve in place. Remove the screws, then spring plate, spring, and then needle valve is come out. These are the dismantled parts. It shows the diaphragm cover, spring, diaphragm, needle valve, pilot jet nozzle, main jet nozzle, fuel inlet valve, float, and the carburetor sump, and the carburetor body which is kept aside. Clean all the components, clean all the parts nicely, and inspect the diaphragm for any damages. Once everything is satisfactory, then we are going to assemble it back. Insert the needle valve into the diaphragm piston. There is a marker like dowel like structure on the top of the needle valve that should fit into the slot in the diaphragm piston. Insert the spring and then spring plate. Tighten it with its screws. After tightening, just check by pushing the needle valve, it should move in and out. Yeah, that's correct. Now clean the carburetor body and then insert this arrangement into the carburetor body. Be careful of its position. The protrusion in the diaphragm should be exactly matching with the slot in the carburetor. Now insert the spring and the diaphragm cover. Keep it correctly and tighten it with its screws. Turn down the carburetor, and now we are going to fit the main jet nozzle and pilot jet nozzle. Clean both the nozzles thoroughly. Remove any dirt or clogs. Then fit the main jet nozzle. Screw it in and tighten with the screwdriver. Similarly, insert the pilot jet nozzle and tighten it. This is the inlet valve which goes into that slot. Attach the inlet valve to the float and place it in its position. The inlet valve should go into the slot and keep the float arrangement. Then slide this pin inside. This is the screw which secures the float arrangement. Insert the screw and tighten it. Just check for the free movement of the float. Yeah, it's okay. Now place the carburetor sump and tighten it with its screws. Be careful before placing the carburetor sump. Check for the gaskets. There is a gasket between the carburetor sump and the carburetor body. If you have any leaking problem, then the gasket has to be renewed. Tighten the screws. Attach this drain tube into the drain pipe. Now the carburetor is ready to fit into the motorcycle. Normally it can be fitted in the same way how we have removed but it is easier if we are removing the fuel tank. For that, remove the right hand side cover, then remove the seat by pulling this cable. Take out the seat, then disconnect the fuel tank level transmission cable. Unscrew this bolt. Take out the fuel tank cover bag, then fuel tank. Now connect the choke cable and tighten the nut. Connect the throttle cable like this. The nuts can be adjusted for the play. Now first fit into the air side. First fit into the air side, then into the engine side. Tighten the clamps. Then place the fuel tank. Be careful while placing the fuel tank. The forward end of the fuel tank should slide into the rubber rollers. Then connect the cable. Tighten the bolt. Put back the seat and right side cover. Connect the fuel tube into the carburetor. Put back the left side cover also and tighten it with the screw. That's it. Everything is fitted now. We are going to just try out the engine.